This is the presentation of Group 3 entitled Board of Pardons and Parole. Members of Group 3, ron sa asing ausena ay good.
Board of Pardons and Parole. Under the provisions of Act Number 4103, as amended, otherwise known as the Intermediate Sentence Law, which was approved on December 5, 1933, it is the function of the Board of Pardons and Parole to uplift and redeem valuable human material to economic usefulness and to prevent unnecessary and excessive deprivations of personal liberty by way of parole or through executive clemency. So I have understood here is that even convicted may be granted pardon by the Chief of Executive as an act of grace to absolve the person from the punishment prescribed for the act he was committed within the given requirements and limitations. An example was when our President Rodrigo Duterte granted absolute pardon, which means total extinction of criminal liability, to Joseph Scott Pemberton, who was convicted of homicide over the killing of a Filipino trans woman, Jennifer Laude. Next. The agency that grants parole to any prisoner who is qualified to enjoy its benefits. Next. Employs the service of parole officers in providing supervision and guidance to paroles.
Moving on to the Board of Pardons and Parole undertakes the following. Note that this is our self-explained. So letter A looks into the physical, mental, and moral records of prisoners who are eligible for parole or any forms of executive clemency and determines the proper time of such prisoners and parole. Next, letter B, assist in the full rehabilitation of individual or on parole or those under conditional pardon with parole condition by way of parole supervision. Next, letter C, recommends to the President of the Philippines the grant of any form of executive clemency to prisoners other than those entitled to parole. Under section 17, the Board of Pardons and Parole shall continue to discharge the power and function as provided in existing law and such additional function as may be provided by law.
Under Section 18, Board Composition. The board shall be composed of the Secretary as chairman and 6 members consisting of the Administrator of the Parole and Probation Administration is ex officio member, a sociologist, a clergyman, an educator, a person with training and experience in correction work, and a member of the Philippine Bar, provided that one of them is a woman. The members of the board shall be appointed by the President upon recommendation of the Secretary and shall hold office for a term of 6 years without prejudice to reappointment. In case of vacancy by reason of death, incapacity, resignation, of removal of any of the board members, the Secretary shall have the authority to designate a temporary member possessing the qualification of his predecessor and to serve out his unexpired term, or until the President shall have appointed irregular members to fill the vacancy. So it has 6 members. The Secretary of the DOJ act as chairman. The members ex officio, the probation administrator, sociologist, clergyman, and educator, psychiatrist, and the last person qualified for the work by training and a member of the Philippine Bar.
Moving on, under Section 21, Board Rules and Regulation, the Board is hereby authorized to establish and prescribe, subject to the approval of the Secretary. Rules and regulations govern the proceeding of the Board. So the Board is hereby authorized to establish and prescribe, meaning they are responsible for formulating rules and regulation, and afterwards it is subjected to the approval of the Secretary. And for the rules and regulations, to what they are responsible to govern the proceeding of the Board. That means the rules and regulations are the ones who give the function and process of the Board. That's all, and thank you for listening and watching.